forward to this computer.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Call the meeting to order. Start off by reading the previous meeting's minutes, which was on September 3rd of 2025. That was our budget adoption meeting. That meeting was called to order at 6:11 with Corey, Nora, myself, and a few members of the public in attendance. The previous meeting's minutes were read and approved. The meeting started with the adoption of the 2026 budget. No changes had been made since the prior meeting. Tyler made a motion to approve the 2026 budget as advertised, seconded by Nora, and approved unanimously.
You had me on there?
No. Corey, Nora, Tyler, and a few members of the public. You were in, okay.
She was definitely there.
I will. And
Maybe I was quiet.
amended it. Okay.
Maybe I was quiet.
Maybe. Regarding the capital improvement plan, no further changes have been made since the prior meeting. Nora made a motion to adopt via resolution to adopt budget capital for the capital improvement plan. Anna seconded and voted unanimously in favor. So Lee had you there. Nick from the Commercial Recreation Group presented the board with some additional drawings and proposals for playground equipment. Veronica from the Bethany Legacy Foundation was also in attendance. Both parties provided information and guidance on raising community awareness and involvement with choosing which park and playground features to consider. A brief discussion took place regarding working more closely with the church where township meetings are held during inclement weather to better assist with building maintenance. The meeting was concluded at 7:32 p.m. Minus making sure we expressly mentioned that Anna was there. Do we have any other changes that need to be made? Okay. Note that change. Grid. Modification was made expressly indicating that fence and approved as written. Okay, the floor is yours, Corbin.
First thing we need to do is, let's go ahead and, do president, secretary, and finance committee chairman, appointments for this ensuing this year. One of you, somebody needs to, the way that goes is somebody needs to nominate somebody. You can self-nominate if you wish. Somebody will then second. There will be a vote on each one of those positions.
Trying to be in president and secretary again.
I think it's technically needs to be split.
It does need to be split. Okay.
Yeah, I believe so. Pick one. I can't make any nominations, so.
Right. So even through our administrations, we've just had secretaries, so maybe lay out what duties are.
So the president is somewhat okay, so for prime example, when we had the essentially the chairman of the board or the president, which has the same kind of but when we had the large meeting about the firehouse potential, and there were a lot of people here. The trustee is intrinsically, especially in our township, is extremely involved in all facets. So it does make sense for me to have a lot of point of orders. A lot of the conversation stemmed from me. In a meeting more like that, the chairman would run the meetings, dictates you've reached your 3 minutes.
Right.
Because I'm not a voting member on the board, right? I'm essentially I'm a puppet that does what you guys tell me to do, right? Within, I have a budget I have to follow, and then outside of that, I have to ask permission for things. And so really that I'm not to guide those meetings, right? I'm not really supposed to guide any of the meetings. It just, I have a lot of things that we need to talk about, so it's
Sure.
kind of guided that way, right? I create I kind of create the agenda and provide the agenda, and they are the moderator of the meeting essentially. So somebody that would,
Call things.
yeah, they call the meeting to order, they
Yeah,
accept, so if somebody was to make a motion, you say, okay, I hear a motion for X, Y, Z, do I hear a second? You would then call for the vote. It's been traditionally extremely low key for us, but in a more formal setting,
Sure.
the chairman or the president serves in that position as moderator of the meeting.
Keeping things moving in an
Yeah,
orderly
yeah,
fashion.
yeah. Doesn't let somebody stand up and filibuster for 45 minutes when the time requirement's 3 minutes, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So, it's one of the three of you, unless one of you want it to be the secretary.
I'd rather do that than be the secretary.
You gonna do president?
Yeah,
Alright,
why not?
I'm fine with that.
I will vote for that.
Okay.
So we'll have them, so you nominate yourself, right, which is fine, I'm nobody, hey, we're all friends.
Expressly
So then
stated.
you have a second, so Nora seconds. So all in favor of that, there's a vote, then now you're the president, so guess what? There you go, now you get to say.
Hear ye, hear ye.
Come on.
I
Okay, here we
see
go.
floats at every meeting.
See, let me,
And what's the third one? You said financial?
So then now we need a secretary, so.
Okay,
I'll do secretary, I guess, since I'm.
Okay.
I'll nominate myself
There
as
you go.
the
Second.
secretary.
There's a second,
I in favor.
okay, and then the vote, so there's that, good job.
Unanimous.
All opposed? None, so unanimously voted in. Unfortunately, we can't do this the way in Lodge, once the master's elected. The rest of it can just be by grand gavel. So. But, so then the third one would be the chairman of the finance committee, and by default, that would most likely.
what the hell does that mean?
The next meeting that we have, and actually, we may end up having a couple of what we would need to consider finance committee meetings this year, because I do intend to invest some, we need to invest some of our money. That's something we'll talk about next month. We'll talk about it at the next meeting, but there's some safe, and we've already talked about it a couple of times. But it's something that we just need the authorization to do, so, we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Nominate Nora as the financial committee
Oh, I
chairman.
second that.
There you go.
Congratulations.
Ta-da.
You're in charge of the numbers.
You picked the worst person.
I was really scared that by default, we were gonna leave you in charge.
I do the numbers.
Welcome to
All our other
2026.
companies.
Oh.
Nora gets paid.
The next thing we wanna transition into is, let's look at the firefighting contract. The fire department did not come down to us to ask for a raise, because we have been working with them and providing them extra resources, so out in lieu of, and speaking from the fire department on this, in the reason we haven't come to ask for they haven't come to ask for a raise is because we have worked together and bought radios and different things, so there was no need to do that budgetary increase. So this is the new contract for this year. The fire department's already signed it. The big change, there's a couple of couple of changes in the contract this year. And they, for the most part, it's all grammatical. It hadn't actually been, I don't think when I actually sat and read through it, I was like, that, we don't talk that way anymore, or, there were, so some spaces in places and just some things that's changed over time that needed to be augmented. The other thing, and this came to light, Hanover Township, last month, they had a meeting and they had their insurance person there, and they had requested their insurance company to review their contract, which is all but word for word, and it has been for years, word for word is Saluda Township, and practically the same thing for the town of Hanover and the college. We all share very, very similar contracts with the fire department. And the one recommendation that they made was to add an indemnity clause and a hold harmless clause. And if you're not familiar exactly with what that is, that's legal ways of saying, I'm not gonna sue you, you're not gonna sue me. we're playing nice in the sandbox, you know, on all that mumbo jumbo.
Yeah.
So there were two clauses added, number 11 and number 12. At the end of the contract, the first one says that the fire department will indemnify and hold harmless through the township. And then and some other legal mumbo jumbo. And likewise on number 12, same thing, the township will hold harmless and indemnify the fire department. And that's just, essentially anymore with the legal, as much as litigious as everything is. And, you know, I mean, at the drop of a hat, just, you know, we've had experienced some situations in my time in the firehouse where we've had some things that they just were throwing blanket things at everybody, you know. So
It's putting it in right.
we've at Saluda Township actually, and this happened in my first term. Gotta be careful how I say this. There was somebody that passed away while in custody at the jail, and we were put on notice that we could potentially be sued. It's a broad spectrum of
Yeah.
BS. I could pull it out of the records. It means the chances of something like that ever happening, but it is a pepper gun of, you know, like
Whoever they can get, yeah.
whoever they can get to stick,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Will it ever happen? Will it ever hold in the court of law? No, it won't. But it's just on notice, right?
Yeah.
And so it is what it is. It's with today's age. So anyways, the fire department signed it. We'll need to sign it. You know, we're already inside the year. Like I said, you guys can read it completely if you want. All we did was add those two statements in and freshen up some of the verbiage. So there's that. We'll need to sign by the end of the night, before we're done.
Yeah, and it's just,
We do have pen. There you go. Yep, you're welcome. And while you guys are looking into that,
And do all of us have to sign?
yes, everybody will have to sign it. Does anybody want time to read that right now, or can
you can go ahead.
we move on? Okay. While we're in the same category on contracting, let's talk briefly about mowing contract. I've got two quotes. I've got a quote from the guy who's done this now for, well, since we've all been together. His price is the same, $4,000. Keeps us not liable for anything. He's done I have to say, an excellent job. Dale has done an amazing job. Top-notch individual. He calls me anytime he sees something that needs taken care of. I call him, vice versa. So he's done an excellent job. So that's Dale, $4,000 for Dale. The other quote that we received is through H&B Property Maintenance. Now, this is the gentleman that has done the tree removal and the stump grinding. This is Nick Hutzel. It's his company. I don't know. It's $100, and it stipulates that he's gonna mow once a week, do the weed eating, picking up sticks and debris. The only thing that doesn't stipulate in there, and Dale's doesn't really, but we already have an understanding with Dale that there's some spraying that also occurs.
Which that does not.
Yeah, he's got it in there.
Yeah, it does say spraying in there. Oh, it did. Okay.
And picking up
Pressure
the
washing
limbs
things.
and
Okay.
pressure washing. the things.
Okay. So this isn't there. I'm sure that we could probably get him to submit a comparable quote to that but you know, it is what still at $100 a week. That's 40 weeks. That's probably on par. But
You
then
think the mowing season's that long?
huh?
You think the mowing season is that long?
That's a little high.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying per week, if you did once a week for 40 weeks,
So
it'd be.
he's technically lower because of that shorter time frame. Because
Who?
we're not talking about 40 weeks, we're talking about $100 a week.
H&B.
H&B would be shorter, but he's including a lot more stuff directly in his contract.
Oh, yeah,
His
yeah.
price will go up if we
Yeah,
add pressure
yeah,
washing and all that stuff on.
But I mean, shoot, I don't know that we, 40 weeks is, that's a long time.
Mhm.
Man, we put a lot of, Dale mowed out there quite a bit last year. I mean, I don't know. But
Yeah,
I
he
still think
started
they're-
picking up the debris and stuff even without us asking him.
and he pressure, I know that we paid him to pressure wash the basketball court
Oh,
separately, so that they could resurface that, if you remember that. But he did a damn good job, and he didn't charge us hardly anything to do that, so,
Mhm.
but it's up to you guys, make.
Yeah, I motion to keep Dale because we don't have any, he's been great.
he has been great. And he was with us when we couldn't find anybody else too.
Yeah, yeah, yep.
I'll second that.
Yeah. If Dale wasn't there and we didn't have a great relationship, I would say you
I
could,
do think his is very competitive. Maybe we can use him for something else.
Yeah,
well, that's.
and we used him for the tree.
It's stump down, it's stump, yeah, and I still gotta get that, we still have that other stump that needs ground, so I mean, we maintain a relationship with Nick, and I don't think Nick's gonna be frustrated with me or with us.
We appreciate him submitting a quote
Mhm.
for.
Yeah, so I will
Yeah.
communicate that with him.
Yeah.
But, so speaking of that, if I remember right, he's gonna charge, if you remember, we had that one last tree, that one last tree that we had to get cleaned up there last year, big hickory. We ended up giving, the unmanageable stuff I took home. And then the big manageable stuff I brought out of the fence, and we had a couple people that had asked for some wood, and I said, it's out there. Get it at your free will, and in about a week, there was no wood there, so whatever happened, it's good, so. It did, I know at least the one person that picked it up, he is he's the wood miser, he is,
Mhm.
he's the wood wizard, so. You know what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
drives an old, camo pickup truck, so he is,
Mhm.
soon as he saw that, he was, hey, can I get that? And I'm like, I was not surprised that you had asked about that, so. There's still stump out there. One thing that I talked to him, I think for a grand is what we had talked about. I gotta refresh it. But he was also gonna take a skid steer out there to save me having to take mine back out there to take some of the dirt, cause what will happen, that stump where that is, if you remember in the beach up front, you guys had to bring some stuff up to kind of fill it back in. Well, he was gonna take his skid steer out there when he ground it and then bring some of that dirt out of where Tony had cleaned, made the new ditch for us there last year, and kind of help get that whole area back there re-leveled back out when he ground it down. So,
Nice.
we've got money in the budget. The budget's already been approved, but I just think that's just letting you guys know that that's the route for him. So we will have some work for him.
Yeah,
good.
Okay, what else was super duper important? Insurance. Our insurance agent wanted to be here tonight. He was unable. He's sickly. I will say, and I am going to, I was hoping to have it already before today, but she was unable to get it to me. I am going to coordinate with the Hanover Township folks to look at their policy, to compare our policy, because one of us is either paying way too much or one of us is not paying nearly enough.
Mhm.
And I mean to the tune of a lot of money.
Mhm.
So,
Which one do you think we are?
we're either grossly underinsured or they're either getting sold down the river, and
Mhm.
I mean, and I'm talking to the tune of several thousands of dollars.
Wow.
So ours could drastically increase a lot, or they could wind up saving a whole bunch of money. So, but we need to, that's why I really wanted him here to say, okay, you guys definitely are covered if something was to happen. And my point is, we got a friggin' park over there. Our liability coverage should be way higher than they don't own anything. They don't own any park. They just have a rented office space in the park building over there, right? There's nothing, they have no outward liability. So we're gonna work on that. so hopefully we'll have something for the finance meeting. Do we want bad news first and end on good, or do we want, you wanna get?
We gotta get it out no matter what.
Okay, so we were briefly talking before the meeting, you've heard me say today is a rough day for townships. They read a bill today at the State House called House Bill 1315. And if you remember last year, me telling you that they tried to get that. You remember last year we did the capital improvement plan, where they wanted us to give up so much of our funds, yada, yada, yada. You know, non-sequestered fund, you know, funds that were just kind of laying out in the open. We had to submit a capital improvement plan to be able to keep those funds in-house, yada, yada, yada. If you remember right before that, there was a House Bill 1468, if I remember the right, that they were gonna do away with all townships and they were gonna do away with all fire territory. It was a big deal. Well, I can assure you, and this is if you remember, I went to the convention in, the educational convention in September. One of the things that they started the convention with, and one of the things they ended the convention with, is 2026 will be the year of breaking down the townships in Indiana. There's no question about it. They are coming after us. There is no more of this. Oh, they've tried that shit for 20 years. It'll never happen. They'll never get rid of townships. This year, it will happen. There will, by the end of 2026, there will be no less than 30% townships either dissolved or merged or forced to dissolve. It will either be done willingly on a merit-based system, or it will be complete absolvement and we won't have a say-so in it. So it's going to happen. Today was the first reading of the probably worst thing that could happen. A blanket dissolution of all townships with anything less than 6,700 people in population. No questions asked. And so my problem with that is, just because you got 10,000 people in your population means that you're not a shitbag trustee or that you're actually doing your job right. Like, that's crap. You know, I've been working exceptionally hard, and the board has too, exceptionally hard to make Saluda Township relevant in the state. And yes, we are small, but we have been doing things and turning this thing in the right positive direction, trying to follow laws, trying to be proactive. To what? Just now all of a sudden, just because you ain't got nobody down there, you're pennies to us, you know. So there are, and it's so funny because over the course of this last week and a half, I have sent in my letter of intent to fill the vacancy of the Southeast Area Director for Township Trustees in the state. So if appointed, I will be the director. I will be on the board of directors for the Indiana Township Association, helping kind of direct township government and putting us all in the right direction. My area of coverage will be from Bartholomew County down to Floyd County, and essentially the whole lower southeast area of the state. Obviously, we're very rural. You know, there are some cities in there, but we're also still very rural. We have a vast majority of hills and hollers and sparse population. So we are, as far as this area, going to be under a big major hit. With all that being said, over the course of last week, we've been kind of talking at the ITA level, through some of the conversations I've been having with the director and the assistant directors and stuff up there, is that this is what's going to happen this year. We had a statewide representative meeting last week where they laid out that there's going to be three options. One, full dissolution all across the board, no townships left. The second one, and the second one is the one that I'm about ready to talk about, this House Bill 1351, where it is, it's through the House. It is nothing less than 6,700 people, gets gone away immediately. There's a whole lot of other requirements involved in it. There wouldn't be anything that goes in place for that one, if that one passes. Now, what I will say, what I found out today is this is the one that the government and the folks that are the government. This is the one that the governor and the folks that are that follow the governor he is behind this one. So we do have, the governor has a lot of friends in the House, but he doesn't have a whole lot of friends in the Senate. So it still has to pass out of the House and go through the Senate before it goes. But if this one makes the governor's desk, it will be signed, is what we've been told. The third option, and this is the one that the ITA is going to back, it's a merit-based system. And so instead of it just being based on population, it's going to be based on, have you been doing what you're supposed to be doing? There will be some criteria for population as well, but have you been paying out your township assistants? Have you been taking care of your fire department? Do you manage a fire department? Do you submit all your documents in order? Did you do your capital improvement plan? There is a stair step. And so we will just if that one gets passed and all the requirements, what's working out right now is those merits, the things that's going to give us the check boxes. That's the one that we're ironing out right now. It will come from the Senate, because we're working with a state representative called Niemeyer, and we're ironing out those requirements, those things, those merits that will give us these points. And we would just ever so barely, I can just if they pass the right things, we will just barely make it on the merit-based system. So, with that being said, on January 22nd of this year, on January 22nd is going to be the day that the Township Association and the township governments, I don't want to say infiltrate, visit the State House and try to talk to the township governments, or the lawmakers, to get them to persuade to, hey, support the ITA's recommendation. It's stupid to just blindly get rid of these townships. They mean a lot. And it's really sad when, and I know we haven't really just had a meeting since all this happened, but you know, we were talking a lot about it because I was very instrumental, and you guys probably, I haven't been around you to make this, but everybody here was familiar that we had a government shutdown in the fall, right? Everybody here may or may not realize that we were a week away from not receiving food stamps anymore, right? Or at least for the time being, not anymore, but they weren't going to be funded. About a month prior to that, at the county level, we started having meetings at the county level from all the, and I was I've already been serving as the county representative. So I was the the trustee representative at these meetings, and we were trying to figure out what we were going to do for all the nonprofits. So we were in Zoom meetings with the Bethany Legacy folks, the community foundation folks, the churches, the food banks. We had county representatives there, you know, and we were all cussing and discussing and everything. And it was my phone for about a week rang nonstop, because a lot of these places didn't realize. And I explained to them, I cannot go out and advertise township assistance. You can. So here's my information to you. If you guys have people, and everybody was so, like, they let me talk for a hot minute, because they were all enthralled about this. They'd never heard of township assistance before. And I said, well, I'm the county coordinator. If all else fails, here's my number. Have them call me. If we don't know the right trustee to send them to, I will make sure that they get to the right. And for about a week, I thought, God, I shouldn't have done that. Lord help me. But thankfully the government went. But what I'm getting, my point here is, had something happened had it perpetuated and continued on and people did not receive food stamps, the stopgap to preventing hunger, and I'm not even
Can't have
talking about the
assistance, yeah.
elderly or the older people. What about other damn school-aged kids? We've got, we're not a overly populated area here, but we have a lot of school-aged kids.
Mhm.
And I already know that Southwestern has a large, free to reduced lunch program, so they're already struggling. So you can't tell me they were, so it just baffles my mind that the state is wanting to do away with the one thing that can
Yeah,
really affect people in a way, because we don't, although we are a entity of the government and we are government and we are your tax money, we have a working budget that doesn't matter what the hell they do
Right.
federally or even at the state level.
Mhm.
Right.
We can
There's
act.
a backup plan in case that would have went south, yeah.
And it's just like, I just said this at the Hanover meeting, it's just like last year on a Saturday, I got a phone call in the middle of the day on a Saturday, my gas just ran out. I've got 3 kids in the home, it's the one we've sent some certified letters to, which is fine, I don't care, but we got them heat.
Yep.
You're not gonna get that from the county,
No.
no offense, and I don't mean that, I do not mean that in a derogatory
Or
manner.
not quickly or whatever, yeah. no,
Yeah, they're gonna have to wait till somebody shows up at the courthouse on a Monday,
Mhm.
or that's not something that you get
Mhm.
at even a state level. There's nobody that's gonna answer their phone on a Saturday in the middle of when it's 15 below zero and,
Take a number.
so, I don't know, but I'm just letting y'all know.
Could be
It
big
is a
changes
serious,
depending on what.
oh, there's no question, there will be changes coming. Now, I'm
Don't know
going.
which changes depending on which house bill
Right.
goes through, yeah.
And I will do my damnedest to continue to fight for us and to try to keep us relevant. I will tell you this, I did, go ahead and promote a conversation with Hanover Township, about potentially, seeing what a merger could look like ahead of schedule, maybe. The only problem is now we're in election year, so you can't do anything like that in election year, so. And then they sent out this new rule, so now even if we decide to merge, we may not have anything, but it may help us in the long run when we go, if they do allow us to do mergers and not be forced, we could already have a dialogue together, working towards something, that doesn't just leave us all out in the dry, and I'm not trying to, by no means am I trying to knock anybody at the county level or it's just hard. I mean, we live so far out. I mean, look at I mean, we all know. I mean,
we do.
it is what it is. So that's that.
You said
That's-
you are pursuing a seat on the board of directors for the Indiana Township Association Southeast Region.
Yeah, Southeast Area Director would be yes. Yep. Anybody have any questions about that? I mean, I can send you guys copies of that bill that was read today. It will change some because it was read. It was forwarded to committee. So what will happen is now that it's in committee, they'll toss it around. It'll kind of get diced up a little bit. It'll make a bunch of people happy and then come back out on the floor and have to be read again and voted on. So, but like I said, this is the one that the governor's side has favor to. So I look for it to gain some speed, and to have a pretty strong head against it. So,
Just a question.
yeah.
They were finding well, they tried to,
Mhm.
at that point in time, they were talking about if it passed, the county would pick up that function. Is that still?
The assistance depends on what gets accepted. There was in the one that I'm talking about now, there's 1350, doesn't mention anything about any follow-up with that. Nothing. All it says is all the monies goes into their general fund.
Wow, yeah.
Now, the one thing that here's the one thing that I would hope, I don't know because we don't actually touch Hanover. Talking about the town. I may be able to swing it to the town if it come down to meetings. But the Hanover Township, if this bill goes through because they touch the town, their money can go to the town. And I would much rather see,
Hanover
This be
versus
extended
county, yeah.
Hanover.
I would much rather
Yeah.
see this be extended Hanover and we only have to go to Hanover
Yeah.
Yeah.
and work with them, then and again, it's nothing against. I'm not trying to,
Just trying to
So
keep
the more
local
smaller you
area,
can keep it, the
yeah.
more personal it's gonna be.
yes,
Easier.
Yeah.
Quicker to help each other.
Hanover customers are facing the same problem.
everybody, yeah, Hanover Township is 5,500 people, so they don't even meet the.
So if we're taking all the counties, or all of the councils,
Mm,
it's not only.
I mean, the only ones that fall in that are your bigger ones,
Mhm.
whatever county or
mhm.
townships are up by Indy and, you know,
Yeah.
Evansville, all your bigger towns.
Well, by the way, though, it doesn't say Marion County specifically in the bill, but the way it's written, you're like, that's freaking Marion County. It says something about inside of a county in which the entire county is its own municipality. I'm like,
That's-
why didn't you just say freaking Marion County?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
Yeah, so.
But yeah, no, Madison Township would be the only one of ours. And the only and then there's also geographic terms here too. The only thing that saves Madison Township is the fact that the township size is actually fairly large.
Yes.
If the city of Madison incorporated 80% or more of Madison Township, it would get dissolved too. So then if that was the case, there would be no township.
Right.
Don't look for the city to do that.
So,
I'm gonna lose no money.
So,
well, yeah.
so you got, I mean, but you were saying, you know, Saluda talking with Hanover,
Mhm.
then you got Republican out here just in no man's land. I mean,
And here's my bigger question, because none of that, it actually does away, and I'm not sure if you're familiar, but Anna remembers a few years ago, we were trying to do something that's called a fire territory, and I really wish that we'd been able to push it through. We were really close. But it does away with all that fire stuff, and there's nothing in there that says anything about fire coverage and who's going to be responsible for it afterwards. So you know what that tells me? Is all these fire departments are gonna have to, and God forbid, this is what I don't wanna ever have to do, is wind up sitting in a commissioner or council meeting saying, poor me, poor me, poor me.
yeah,
There's 9 of us in this county, poor me, poor me. And
oh,
when you go, the writing's on the wall, whenever it goes to that, you gotta now fight with the sheriffs, you gotta fight with the county highway, you gotta fight with every employee that's in the courthouse. The probation department, the jail, every other budget,
yeah,
everybody's knocking, hey, fill my cup, fill my cup, fill my cup. And then we're in this perpetual cycle of, now they don't have enough money, so then,
Yeah.
and the elephant in the room, and what nobody's ever gonna say, and some asshole like me's gotta say it, it's all about money.
yeah,
They don't like that there are, in their defense, there are township trustees and township advisory boards that don't do do this, that don't even do this and have an open conversation. That's true, that's fact.
yeah.
There was just, last year or the year before, a trustee in Bartholomew County, I think it was in Bartholomew County, embezzled like $1.5 million. First off, how in the hell you get away with $1.5 million and nobody noticed? I don't know. But beside the fact, how does nobody not ask a question before it get that far,
Yep.
right? But in the state's defense, how the hell does somebody get $1.5 million?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's a double-edged sword. And so they want to rein that kind of stuff in. It does happen. I get it.
Well, that was supposed to be the point of the capital improvement plan, was to
Mhm.
either use it or lose it, you
Yeah,
know, and,
Yeah.
you know. It
So-
sounds like they're not even gonna give that enough time to.
No, well, I'm gonna go out, we all kind of had agreed, and we may have shot ourselves in the foot. Maybe I probably ought not say it on but I think it's been in enough recorded things, but it's not that I mean, we worked inside the letter of the law. But there's no reason, we are being judicial with our money here. There's no reason that we should just say, oh, well, we
Yeah.
don't have a future plan for that and let it go to some non-existent. I mean, it would go to a fund. Oh,
You get it
that's what I
absorbed
heard.
into something else, yeah.
Yeah, and then it has, we have a minuscule budget compared to a multi-million-dollar budget. Okay, so guess what? They get 30% of, let's say that we had done all that. Let's say they wound up with $10,000. What road fund project in Saluda Township is $10,000 really gonna pay for, that's really gonna make an astronomical statement?
Mhm.
I mean, really, let's have a realistic conversation about that. What does that do? Does that clean ditches for 2 days, 3 day, I
Put an
mean,
outer loop around the park or?
yeah,
From the school to here.
Yeah.
School, that's about it.
yeah, but you think about that and you gotta figure in, by the time they figure in equipment costs and hell, you hardly can get a piece of equipment out here and you not have $1,000 already into it, man hours and so it was kind of like, why do we give $10,000 or make it 30,000? Still shit.
Mhm.
Why do we put that in a non-existent fund that then we have to battle and make sure, like, for what? We can do so much more with the $30,000 at the park that's actually gonna really benefit people. And so or with the fire department, God forbid, we have to buy more equipment at the firehouse, something happened, So, I don't know, it's a shame. I really hope that we get enough support that the merit-based system goes through, and even if it means that Saluda and Hanover Township would have to merge to make that, as long as we don't wind up leaving this whole end of the county completely uncovered with what we've been trying to do, I just don't, I don't see it. And if I ever ran for another office, I surely to God would hope to think that I remember what it would be like, what it was, but people, that ever living dollar sign gets in the way. But nonetheless. Any other questions about that before we transition? We may have to, it may promote more conversation later, but,
I presume that you'll continue to monitor and keep us.
yeah, oh, yeah, I get personal emails from the director of the ITA, so, yeah, I felt like, wow, I must have pissed somebody off. Or made them proud because they know I'm not afraid to say, I think they
That's
maybe.
why we gotta have this thing.
That's why it probably is. Okay, so, other extremely, we did this, let me start marking some of this off. In light of, we kind of already talked about the fact that they changed the law before it ever got enacted about the recording, right? So now we have to, which we don't have the bandwidth here to actually live stream. I'm gonna talk to the internet company. I'm gonna talk to the internet company about seeing if we can't get something down here, because technically we're supposed to be live streaming. But if you remember, part of what we thought was gonna be the rule is that we had to post it like on YouTube, and I have created a Saluda Township YouTube page. When I started sending out the emails to the rest of the township trustees, one of them contacted me and said, hey, since you seem to be pretty smart with all this, why don't you just, can we just make a county YouTube page so that all the townships, we don't have to have individual YouTube pages? I said, sure, that's not a problem. So what I'm gonna do is convert the Saluda Township page into a countywide, make a generic login. For the most part, I'm gonna have to help a lot of the, we have a lot of our trustees are older and not as computer savvy as all of them. So
It's very nice of you.
yeah, so I'm gonna do that. Help us, I hope that this promotes a
Unity.
unity and shows that in the future that, hey, we've already been trying to work together, da, 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 da.
Do the county already have the YouTube site?
For county government, I doubt that they're gonna give us access to that.
You get no access to that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could ask, but I doubt that they'll.
Is there a way to keep each townships like in separate?
You can put 'em
folders?
in playlist.
He's saying
Yeah.
I do separate, but,
Mhm.
oh, yeah, but then, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Playlist.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can.
Yeah, we can,
But you could
Yeah.
also easily jump over to someone else's if you wanted to watch it too. It'd be nice.
Okay.
We can definitely provide some guidance on it.
Actually, be nice to see some of the other townships. And
Yeah,
maybe
It would be a
Yeah.
nice way to do it.
we should
um,
visit them.
well, that's one of the reasons, I mean, I've been attending the Hanover Township stuff for a couple of reasons. One, and I intend to offer that kind of transitions me into the next thing, our camera. I told I sent out a message in some of my communications with all of them. You know, obviously, a lot of them were thinking that we only had, everybody's like, well, we've been just recording it on our cell phone. I'm like, ooh, don't do that. But, one thing that, I told them is that, I could probably, I don't see the board telling me no, but I would ask the board if it's okay that obviously on the nights that we have a meeting, I can't loan out or come and bring the
Doesn't
camera.
Borrow that.
But for me to go with it and set it up and be there to help them make sure that they're trying their best to follow the guidelines as well. So if you guys are okay with that and nobody has an ill word about that, I will dutifully.
Guess as long as you're there. I would hate for something to happen to it if you weren't there.
Yeah.
I think that shows good, good
deal.
faith.
Good, yeah.
Well,
Yep, as long as you're good with going to the meetings.
Well, and that's what I told them. I said, because again, it's gonna have to be ran through a Zoom and saved somewhere and document all that kind of stuff. So I explained to them what all we did and, you know, how I got that external hard drive and all that stuff. So we'll see where all that comes from. Okay. Corrective action plan. Yeah, we've already done all that. That's Board of Finance. We talked about that. We will need to set a meeting for that. Do we want to look at this moment or do you want to wait? And
When do you need that by? Yeah, let's.
to see that's going into this, I don't remember. I don't even have my calendar with me. Can we do that
we can.
cause my calendar's on my phone and without me just saying, I would hate to set something and then we
Okay.
have to, we'll do it again, like we always do and send out the things, but the main purpose of that meeting will be to go over the annual report, which we could have done tonight. Whatever.
We're looking at like a monthish.
It's like, something February. It's like by the end of the first week of February. So it will be one of the ends of the month, either one of the last days of this week. Shit.
Okay. We got you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
One of the days in the last week of this month or one of the first days in the first week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of a side note. I don't know if you guys have followed and I haven't made this, I guess I'm gonna say it on a recorded meeting. So, I haven't completely made it 100% public yet, but, I don't know if you knew this or not, but I'm a Shriner now. And so we help kids and part of that was, one of the things that I'm doing is I'm a clown. So I'm a firefighter.
That's why you had the makeup.
Yeah, I haven't completely done it up yet as a whole thing. I've been
Waiting for that.
I've been kind of teasing it. So the 29th through the 1st, I will be in Louisville for the COSAR. So that's one of our flyers over there. So,
Okay. I saw that.
if anybody knows anybody that wants to go to the circus, or know, you know, you can come watch me be a fool for a day. So I will be posting more on that, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'll probably actually be extremely nervous, even though I know it seems like I probably shouldn't be. But so anyway,
Get a cool little car.
no, no, not yet. I'm still working on building everything out, but, what I did do was, I wanted to keep the authenticity of my fire gear, so I took my last retired set of fire gear. And I called the company and sent it to the company, and while they had it, they were like, hey, by the way, do you mind if we do all this, and this? And so what I was planning was way subpar to what they ended up doing with it. I'm only the second person that they've ever known of that's done something like this. And so they put shapes and colors and stuff all over my gear for me. And they've asked that I allow the marketing team to work with me. I probably think they're gonna be sending me places to, for
Yeah.
Oh, that's
whatever,
cool.
so. So I'm pretty excited with it. When I worked in Northern Kentucky, I met a guy that makes the fancy things on the front of the helmets. So he's made me a new fancy one for that, and I got suspenders and, a whole bunch of stuff,
You
so.
have a firefighter clown
Um,
character and
That's cool.
Yeah, so it'll be a lot of fun. So that last week is, I need to really sit down and look at my schedule, how that's all gonna
Okay.
play out, because that's gonna be new for me. It's a new experience, so.
You need autographed photographs.
Well, so I was kind of late in the year getting started, or I would already have, so that'll probably come next year when I have color, my picture will be in the coloring book, and
Oh.
I'll have like trading cards and stuff like
No,
that.
that's
Oh,
cool.
yeah, they do it right. Yeah, so it's gonna be pretty cool. I am pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about that, so. Moving right along, I need to look at that later.
Point being, I guess, is you just wanna make sure that wouldn't interfere.
Yeah, I didn't, yeah, I don't wanna, I mean, I could sit here and say, yeah, let's do it on that Wednesday night, and then I need to be in Louisville, and I just, plus I also wanna look at the requirement, I don't wanna set it too late,
Too early, too late.
yeah, so, okay.
It wouldn't be in your township calendar, would it?
No,
You don't share it to,
no, I don't, no, I keep things
yeah, I
separate.
might be able to see it from here.
No, it wouldn't be on my township calendar.
It's in this clown thing.
It's in my clown
Yeah.
calendar. Okay, so I had 2 sit-down meetings today. I know that we all were in attendance when we got our grant money, so yay, if I think you guys already know, we got a $35,000 grant for stuff. We, Community Foundation. We will have to spend that money by April 30th or something like that. I had 2 sit downs today with 2 separate, with Nick. We've already met with Nick. He's the one that came out and showed us all the fancy drawings before. I met with another playground company after him today. Just so you guys know, I don't know if I can have enough bandwidth to pull this up. We'll see. I should have already had it. My apologies. Yeah, it's not gonna pull up. Okay, so just so you know, it's funny how I'll tie this Shriner thing back into this story right now. So the day I became a Shriner, late in the fall, it was, we actually had our kids covered, and Shelby and I don't know how we wound up back at the park. I don't remember, or maybe we weren't at the park. Maybe we were talking about, you guys remember we did the balloting where we sent out the ballot. We got 111 responses, and everybody I've talked to about that's been like, damn, you got 111 responses. And I'm really proud of that. I think we did really good with that.
Yeah.
Kudos to you guys. I couldn't be here, so kudos to you guys for doing that. The top 3 things: swings, slides, and handicap accessibility.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, Shriners, their big thing is about handicap, is for disabled children and doing things for kids that don't have other options. And all of a sudden, the bulb kicked in my head was like, holy shit, the answer is in front of us. Instead of trying to make this something that it doesn't need to be, let's make it something that it should be. So I told both of the guys today that I would like to see that this thing be And one of the guys actually did a park very similar to this in Greensburg, Green something, Green Castle, one of the greens, an inclusive park. Directly and most focused on handicap accessibility and handicap functions for the total, yes, it'll still have stuff that,
More things that all can try.
instead of just having one one, and I said, what I
thing,
don't wanna
yeah.
have is say, oh, well, this is handicap accessible, and there'd be one damn low swing that you can put one wheelchair on and say, oh, we've done our,
Yeah.
no, that's horse shit, I want something that is primarily focused on handicap accessibility. I want this to be the area, if you have, and it's a safe place back there. We have fencing, and so everybody, they are on board. They are going to start creating stuff that will more mimic those things. And I think that is how I mean, not to make it a sales project or anything like that, but I think that's the sale. I think that's the motivation. It's the right thing to do. I think I could be wrong. Maybe you guys have others' opinions.
I'd say as long as it's still equipment that, all kids can enjoy and not only handy,
Yeah.
You don't wanna exclude
Yeah,
folks that aren't handicapped, but absolutely,
Right.
yeah, definitely all in favor of
absolutely.
having more things that handicapped people can enjoy.
Well, it's number 3 on the top 3 of the list. So, I mean, it is something that's on people's minds. And it's not that I wasn't
Yeah, yeah.
surprised, but I was like, damn, the answer's right there in front of us. Let's do that. So, look for in the coming weeks, we will probably be sharing more, because to kind of further that conversation, I also have a meeting with the Bethany Legacy folks, Thursday. Sit down with them to see our next steps to start promoting, because 35,000 only gets us so far.
Right,
So,
and it has to be used soon.
yeah, and I think if we can show that we have a bigger
Plan.
picture, because when we originally put in for the community foundation, that grant was put in really before we kind of knew that the Bethany Legacy was really
Play.
something that we might be in that sandbox together, you know what I mean? So, I when I put in for the grant, I only put on there that we were gonna refurbish what we had,
Yeah,
Right.
resurface the basketball goal, fix up the parking structure, and that was pretty much, and if we had some money to put like a generic something that you buy at Lowe's up there, great. If not, we were just gonna be able to refurbish what we had and see where the money goes. And and then it wasn't long after that, then we had a meeting with other people, and then big dollar signs was started, and I was like, oh, well,
Yeah.
Oh.
well, if we're awarded that
Oh.
grant, they're not probably gonna be disappointed, but I technically lied on that application, but,
we don't know.
you didn't know at the
Yeah,
time,
probably.
so.
Plans fail, that's okay.
So I'm hoping that, and again, obviously we can reapply this year again for community foundation. It's not a one and done situation. So, that is that's an annual thing. And so I intend to reapply and to try to really, push this forward. So,
Such a blessing for the park.
well, and again, these are the things that I'm really hoping that we show
Right,
whoever, if it, God forbid that the decision's not made, that it's just an all or nothing dissolution. And it comes down to somebody deciding, I really hope somebody somewhere at whatever level has to make the decision says, well, we don't want to have to manage none of that. You guys take care of it,
Right.
because I think
being
we've talked this before. And I think you guys probably may or may not be in the same mindset, but you may not have the same. I want to see the Jubilee be able to continue as long as possible. And I don't know what that, I think
I was
we're
just
all,
thinking about that when you was talking about it the first time. It's
The
like,
county took it.
what's gonna happen to that park and what all goes down there? Like,
Yeah.
because the contract's made out to Saluda Township, not Jefferson County or
Yeah.
state of Indiana, how does,
Yeah.
like, I understand that assets would all just get absorbed upward.
Yeah.
But like, at the end of the day, somebody's gotta manage that because
Yeah.
it's public property.
Yeah.
And so like,
Predicament,
yeah.
huh?
wild
Yeah.
predicament.
It it affects everybody in this room, not just the township aspect of it. It has
Definitely the Jubilee and.
Jubilee Association
Chelsea Park,
issues
yeah.
with it too, so.
Well, even everybody's taxes.
And the tax, I mean, yeah, so,
Taxes, I understand, would just get absorbed and
Right.
they'd reallocate it however they want, but you don't know if they're gonna continue to include this park or. Like, I assume they would have something for it, cause it would still be government property, but you don't know that they're gonna.
What they're gonna,
Contribute to it properly and keep a keen eye on it, like, ever since we've come in office, that's been, what can we fix, what can we fix, what can we fix, every single year, and.
that'll be
that'll
another,
be- it's just
that'll
gonna
be another change cup at the
Yeah.
old county
Mhm.
commissioner, like, give me money, give
It's
me.
gonna be a lot easier to overlook if it goes up there because everybody else. asking
Yeah.
for it, but yeah. Hopefully, anyway, yeah.
So that's how that's gonna shake out. So I'm gonna keep working on that. So, but be looking for some decisions that we're gonna have to start making, because we are gonna have to start working on some on some money. So,
Oh, yeah.
are they
um,
gonna give us some more design?
that's what, yeah.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
telling about
yeah.
what the top three things were, so they're gonna redraw on the
Yeah.
quote.
Yeah.
Try to keep it a little more in line with what
Yeah.
we're actually needing.
And you remember those quotes were a little, they were a little
crazy,
snap.
though, Which they did that on purpose, but they're
Oh,
still
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
crazy.
Well,
Yeah.
well, being the one that talked to most of the people, trying to explain all this. When it comes to the handicap thing, it's more because you're looking at the drawings and you're looking at what you have down to walk on or
Yeah.
whatever. Whatever they can get a wheelchair on.
Yeah.
Right,
That, because if
like the
our
bar,
little park has something like that, Hanover can't touch it, the other ones can't touch, I mean,
Yeah.
they can't get a wheelchair in a lot of these aspects of where they
Yeah.
wanna go.
right,
And that was their big key seller was,
Yeah.
this stuff here, you get a wheelchair
Yeah.
on. And
Yeah.
The turf and stuff, you mean, yeah,
yeah, because you had the three options, the shredded,
right.
whatever it was, you
Yeah,
can't,
wheelchair,
you can't
yeah.
drive down to it. But that
soft
It's
turf.
soft, but
It's called pour in place.
Yeah,
It's a
but-
rubberized thing that's
but
poured.
you can just
Yeah.
push a wheelchair right across it,
Yeah.
Somebody
Yeah,
talking
that'd be-
about a swing that's got a little more.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's fishing
Yeah.
under, cause I remember him
Yeah.
telling all about
Yeah.
it, which is the higher end for you lose on, I can't put this
Equipment,
here,
right.
but you got this, which
Yeah.
makes a difference for the handicap accessible.
I will say, we go to church at North Madison up there across from the hospital. And they put in a playground, a small one, in behind the church. And it has, the whole place is that pour in stuff, except for where the picnic tables are. Holy smokes, that is
Pretty nice.
as nice can be. And it is super, exactly like what you're talking about. You can wheel, you can do whatever you want, you can fall down, you can face plant, and it's not, it's not like,
And
and it can rain right now, and in 5 minutes, you can
It's
still
gone.
go out there and play, so.
And it's also it's a bigger upfront cost, but it takes away some of the liabilities,
Right.
Yeah,
Wonder if it lasts
I mean,
too, I'm sure it does.
you weigh it out over time. But
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, the one company, that Nick's company, had lifetime, a lot of warranties, a lot of big warranties with his company. Now, I assume that other ones are probably gonna be comparable, I would assume, but I will say that the one thing and the one reason why I didn't just, why we need to talk to other companies is that's something that the folks at Bethany Legacy has made pretty clear multiple times, is that we need to make sure that we're being diligent. That's perfectly fine. That's, there's no reason we should get railroaded down, down one path and it wind up not doing
and
what
we
we
wanna
need.
get the most for our buck too.
Yes, yeah, so look for things like that to come. We need to have this discussion. There was never, we had stipulated at the last meeting that you guys stipulated, I shouldn't say we, that there needed to be a written contract drawn up, some sort of a written agreement that people would reimburse us if damage was to occur. None of that occurred. For the farmers' access to the,
Oh,
through. It was,
Says come and gone.
harvest is come and gone. We were able to, prevent anything from driving around and potentially across any lateral lines or, but what they did was they went straight back. They went through the gate, you know, when you pull in, you go straight back. And with semis, they did that like 3 or 4 times. I didn't, I went out beforehand and took a picture down both sides of the new culvert that's out there. Same thing on the backside. I went out afterwards. I didn't notice anything. Excuse me, I tried to do my due diligence in the event that there was some sort of a damage. I don't know. I don't know what this year's, you know, I don't know. I don't know how, but it won't be long and we will be in planting season and I don't know how that's all gonna play out. I don't know.
You're saying, from what you could tell, no damage was done.
I don't think so. I don't think so. But, you know, thankfully it was straight in, straight out with semi, so it wasn't.
It wasn't over lateral lines, but it was over a new culvert.
Yeah.
And from what you could tell, or you couldn't.
Yeah. I have lots of opinion from folks that are in the community because they I don't think it's well received that the access is granted. But I don't know, it's something that we need to.
I guess for our last meeting, it really wasn't, well, there's supposed to be something that allowed him to do it for this season or last harvest because of the short notice, I guess. But henceforth, something else would need to be figured out.
Yeah.
And you're
They
now,
were gonna provide us with that if something happened though.
Yes.
Too.
and he verbally said it at the meeting too, I'm pretty sure, because he was in attendance at that
Maybe.
meeting, wasn't he?
Yes.
He was
I
in-
think we told him to his
Yeah.
face, there needs to be an agreement.
Mhm.
It was supposed to be written, but he said it on camera. And luckily, it looks like nothing happened at this
Yeah.
time. But you're now indicating that you feel like some members of the community
Oh, yeah,
also don't want
definitely,
them
yeah.
driving in and out of there.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's, yeah. It's been brought up in conversation with other folks, so, you know. it's-
What are some of the reasons they're indicating they don't like them in there? I know we've talked about it
You know, a
ourselves.
lot of people, it's pretty much the same thing. Is that something that I'm allowed to do? You know, it's
It's
that,
not fair, gotcha, yeah.
Well,
right.
it's putting wear and tear on our park and, you know,
Roads
if something
and-
was to happen. I don't know, I feel like he really didn't go about any of this the correct way.
Didn't you get like moderately cornered at the Jubilee?
Threatened, and I let him know that, I was like, whoa, you're a approach man. No,
Mm.
you
Whoa,
know, he
dude.
was looking for all you guys too. You know, I just, I was willing to hear him out if he wanted to come to us again, because he did have me turn around and there was a little trailer pulling a little tractor. It's like, well, I do see that point, but that is far cry from a loaded semi.
Or a combine, yeah.
Yes,
We had
a little
small
antique
scale
tractor.
compared to what's that.
Yes, but that was his main point there, you know, but I did tell him, you know, we would listen to him, but.
I know previous board members have said to me that it extends a safety issue, and I think
I
that's
agree.
something,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, maybe we don't have kids out there playing all the time, but how do we know that they're not out there, you know? It,
It's
Especially
just,
now with the park improvement, the
yes,
playground.
Oh, right.
Look,
Yeah.
you're trying to do all the things you're doing, that's a added situation.
it's also just, he can correct that action on his own land. I know he needs to cut down some trees or something to do that, but he has the means to get around it without using the park.
Tell me his
property.
name one more time.
Joe Crawford.
it never mattered in the past. Because they went straight in, straight out. You fixed the top, you tiled it, you put a new culvert in, you tried to keep it from being a swamp. Which had been for a long time, every time it rained on that side, it
Yeah.
makes a big difference.
Right, it does.
And we
I
don't
think-
wanna go backwards.
No, I think we gotta stick with our original agreement with him that we told him in person that you can do it this one time and that's it.
Saturday
Yeah.
morning,
Yeah, we didn't hold any
we
water.
didn't hold any water
Good,
at all on
I
Saturday.
mean, we haven't held any water since you did
Yeah.
that.
good.
And the vendors love it because they don't have to walk in water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course,
right. So
we
much
got the road put in before they harvested, and that thing's that thick, you know,
Yeah.
across there, which made a big
Yeah,
difference.
yeah,
It gave some cushion on
Yeah.
there,
yeah.
you know, but,
That definitely helped. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
deny that didn't help. That was definitely.
but
very
it,
good.
It doesn't mean it's
It
only
also
for
can
them.
pound that
and
gravel
it don't
in.
mean that it's not gonna happen the next time. or the next
Exactly.
time.
How do we keep it from?
I don't know.
Yeah. I think the,
I mean, you guys already made the agreement, so it's not, you
Yeah.
know, I wanted to just promote the conversation to let you know that when it came time that. There's nothing written in
It
my,
didn't happen.
on my desk that I was given.
Okay.
I
Well-
was contacted kind of hastily about it, very little warning, so.
They also did have a map at the park about an exit strategy that was out towards that.
Well,
That
that
came
was,
from you
that was for
guys.
us, Homeland Security, when, you know, they come out and we have to go through all that.
Mhm.
But that would not be the township,
I
that
let
is the
him know
Jubilee
that.
Park Association, and we stressed that if an active shooter come or something of that nature,
Sure.
sorry, you know, go that way and we'll pay to fix the damages, but we
Yeah.
can,
That's it.
we, you know, we can easily fix that.
That was an agreement between
Us and
my uncle.
Yeah.
And that owned property.
Yeah.
Right.
And Rick don't care, cause we already talked to him about the other way, and of course, you know, there's cows in that other way, but if somebody's in there doing something that you shouldn't be, you know,
You're gonna go.
you're gonna go where.
I have definitely thought, and we will need to really look at this, especially once we get a little further along, we probably ought to do it now about fencing in, replacing the fence across the backside.
We've talked about that since we were bored.
Even if we need to put a gate there where access to Rick's. And maybe maybe we just leave a fence across the back and we promote a conversation with, Bruce. About adding a gate on his fence so that we get, if something was to happen, we can make that the new exit instead of.
Yeah.
Going back that way, cause you know, I mean, they had to do some digging to find that map.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, they looked up anything about the Jubilee, that's where they found it,
Yeah.
one place they could have found it.
Well, that's right, yeah.
In the
Mhm.
Chelsea Park Jubilee Association.
yeah, I mean, we had to put all that on there for the Homeland Security,
Yeah.
I mean, that's, every year we get,
So I don't.
we
know-
have to update something, you know,
Yeah.
for that.
And I don't know if just removing that from our document when we file next year.
Mhm.
Rather than we not have that document in there.
No, we can change it, we just update the document, because all.
I'm sure that Zach wouldn't have any problem as an emergency if, heaven forbid, something happened.
The other thing, there's something about fencing within the state or. You know, you own a farm and I own a farm and they.
You're
join
paid
up.
50%.
Yeah, you're.
That's
you owe
paid
50%.
by law.
I think it's anything on the east side
Oh, that, how
and
that
the
goes.
north side.
I'm
That's
supposed to
yours?
know that law and I just learned it in September and I've already forgot it. I'm actually, that's one of the job of the trustee.
Pay for a fence.
Well, no, I think we will.
I would probably look at the agreement is
Yeah.
pay for it.
Hey, Eston, come on now, I'm not trying. About like my old man, damn time.
And when it comes to that fence, you know, like on Rick's side. There's really only one entry hole on that side, you know, it's all wooded anyway, fence
Yeah.
doesn't mean nothing, but on that backside, I mean. Couple strands of smooth wire, at least it takes it out of the,
Mhm. Well, I'm just thinking about
Liability, barbed wire.
what will, you know, we try to promote something for inclusivity with kids.
Yeah.
We probably need to think about, you know, like a hog wire or, you know,
Panel type,
a
something.
pan, something that more squared mesh. I don't, if that's, not hog,
Like a
Chain
small woven wire.
yeah.
The type,
The squares, the small squares, yeah, it's, you know, it's.
4 foot tall.
Yeah, and it's in a big roll, probably is what really needs to happen, so that then if a kid gets,
Welded wire?
Chicken wire?
It's basically the same thing as woven wire, but instead of being like a,
Welded wire.
it's a welded.
Welded wire.
And it's still 4 foot by,
yeah.
yeah, horse band.
Horse fence, there you go, that's what, yeah,
Can't get their foot in it.
yeah, and it's just the small squares, and then that way, and then the reason I say that is because if we're gonna promote inclusivity and letting young kid.
Right.
The last thing we need to do is having, you know, a kid running out the back and into the field, or if they're
Mhm.
back there working,
Yeah.
God forbid if they're working or whatever, you know.
Right.
So we may need to approach that as the project grows, so.
Yeah.
Next on the budget, not the budget, let's see, we did that. The one guy that I talked to today from the playground stuff, his company actually does help with some financing, so he's gonna put me in
The second guy, you mean? Not
the
Nick?
second guy,
Okay.
yeah, so.
That is nice.
I still need to work on signage for the park out on the highway. Internet, I need to contact Duke now that they might actually be able to get back there and not destroy
nice.
everything. Website. I have a meeting set up, and one of the things that I found out at the convention is the state provides us for free basic website services. So I look to have within the next month or so, I look to have a Saluda Township website, a real website.
Will that count as our announcements too? Can
No.
we, okay. They still gotta
Unfortunately,
be
no, it
paper.
still has to go to the dadgum newspaper because it's by law. If there's a, what do they call it? It's not a tabloid, that, whatever it's
Yeah.
called. But anyways, but we will still do the Facebook,
Yeah.
paying for those ads on Facebook. I think that worked out really well. I think it got a lot more
It's in addition to the newspaper.
in addition to the newspaper. So the website, I also have a meeting set up to create our own domain. So instead of my address, my email address being at gmail.com, it'd be
Yeah.
at salutatownship.com.
That'll right in with the website stuff.
Well, that one comes at a low cost. I need to understand if it's even worth it. If they provide, if it will add in some web security of some sort, I can justify an insignificant cost, because we do need to think about, you know, with today's age, some things that we do is done on the internet, and
Oh, yeah.
that is just is what it is. And I think that's one of the things when we start talking about our insurance policy. I know that's one thing that they talked about at Hanover Township. They got like a $2,500 cybersecurity insurance policy. So
What are some things you can do to minimize?
you know what I'm
mitigate
saying?
that
Yeah,
cost?
well, do we need a $2,500 insurance policy? Probably not, but do we need to consider some sort of a cybersecurity? I mean, people send me, township assistance stuff via email,
Yeah.
you know, that's,
They should be able to.
you know, it's not unheard of, so, you know, we just gotta watch that, so.
Yeah.
That's the website. We do need to create, and this is something that I failed to get done today. We need to create the resolution, and I don't know if we can say that we've created it today, or if I probably should wait for the resolution. Actually, we'll probably do it right. But if you remember, part of the capital improvement plan was to set money, 30% of money aside to go into a road improvement fund, right? Well, just because we don't have any money to go into the fund, we still have to create the fund. The fund still has to be there, so we
Even
gotta
if
do
it's
that.
zero, yeah.
Even if it's zero, the fund still has to be created because it has to be there in the event, so. Next meeting, we will be doing a road improvement fund creation. I am also going to be setting up a meeting there's something called Indiana IN Trust. Essentially, it is a liquid way for our money to make money, and it is legal through the state because it is done through the state. There is a state agency that uses all of our money it's kind of like a CD, is the way that she described it. It's a legal CD for us. Probably should have been doing it for a while now, but it is what it is. I'm gonna I've got a meeting scheduled with her in the next week to work on getting that set up. I will have more information about that, but long story short, I can go in and out, I can transfer money in and out as easily as possible. And I said, so you're telling me I could essentially take all of our money outside of maybe $1,000 in the bank account and put it over there and it be making money. And if I write a check for $500, I can go and draw 500 out and over to here. She goes, absolutely. So I'm like,
There's no limit to how
and
many
there's
times
no
you can do
limit to
that.
any of that. And I was like, holy crap, I should have been doing this already. But you don't know if you don't know. So,
It's not like a CD.
Yeah.
no, it
I would say
performs.
it's building, but
Yeah,
you get
It sounds like a high
Yeah.
interest checking or.
It's a high interest savings
Yeah.
account.
Yeah.
It has traditionally been performing at like 4% or better. So, it's all done through, I don't even want to get into, I don't even know. If I sat here and told you it's all done
Yeah,
through
it's not
something,
really
I'd be
through it,
wrong
yeah.
about it, but it's a way that she said it's not a problem if you only keep so much in your checking account to keep a little buffer room, if you have automatic payments set up and you know that you just wrote a check for $15,000 or $5,000, you just pull whatever you need out of our fund. And so, and it's a legal way to make money with our money. So it's no
Is
brainer.
the same institution as our normal checking?
Nope, this is through, this is through it's called
Oh,
IN
that's right.
Trust.
Okay, I didn't know.
I'm just looking here, making sure that I have, some things that we should, January 9, I've got a meeting, the 13th, I'm going to, Plainfield for the 13th for finance training through the township, ITA. So that's how to do our annual reports and everything, so, make sure, so I'll be up there for that on the 13th, on the 22nd. On the 22nd, is the State House visit, like I told you guys, if you're available and wanna go. I hope that I can get out of my previous requirement to be up there.
It's a Thursday.
Yes. Before I do my very last thing, do you guys have anything you wanna talk about?
We had a conversation last summer about maybe adding somebody as advisor for the art association. So you have a go-to person for that. I'm thinking like those two people might be nice to have somebody from art association at that meeting. Which don't start off the wall and see what sticks. We spent $8,500 out there last year. So, and there was, placement of equipment. Piping equipment, that kind of stuff. I just like I'd like for us to work together on that.
Yeah. I don't know if there's, like, if that's an official position or anything like that.
It's not it's not necessarily anything to do
It
with
wouldn't,
township.
wouldn't have any,
Yeah.
nothing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Just as far as the park.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody just sit and listen and provide, but.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
it's up to you.
there won't be,
Everybody's welcome to.
there won't be any kind of decisions I say made without you guys, really,
Well, I went to that one meeting about the legacy last fall, and they're having another one probably already passed. They had a 4-day seminar up there. I think that.
oh, shit. Oh,
I should- But I couldn't manage 4 days.
Hmm.
But they wanted at least 2 board members to attend. I mean, it's quite.
sure, I didn't know that, man.
I remember you saying something about it, but
I couldn't get off work.
I don't recall that. You may have sent it to me and I got over, I mean, it is 100% possible.
Julie Bear. Remember, here on her. I was here, Julie Bear,
She's on the board of directors. Yeah,
Julie Bear. She's younger.
Yeah. no, that would be, I'd love to have been at that, if I'd have been able to pull it off. I don't, that may also have happened while I was doing stuff with Dad,
that
so.
was right after the Jubilee. It wasn't
Yeah,
very long
yeah,
after.
right after the Jubilee.
Oh, well, then
Yeah, it
I'm
was
sure
right
I was
around then.
probably, cause he had his surgery at the Jubilee, during the Jubilee, so. Yeah, I was probably not even worried about, there was about a month and a half that I didn't even answer an email, so that's probably what had happened, so. But yeah, no, yeah, there's no reason, if there's any kind of decision, it'll have to be made in an open forum meeting like this, right? So, we'll make notice for that for sure. So, the last thing, and I'm super excited about this. I have, and it, has anybody ever heard of Who's Your Daddy Band?
Yes.
Yes.
We are scheduled for August 15th at the park. So
daddy?
huh?
Who's your daddy?
Who's your daddy? So, anybody know of any other bands that we want to get scheduled over the summer to help promote? They'd like to see, I'm friends with the guys at Who's Your Daddy. I got us a pretty good deal on that. So, that is, I hope that I can get, Kindness involved with that.
Yes, they big as well. Try to make a big event out of that.
yes,
Maybe-
yeah.
Maybe get a hold of the churches, see if
Yeah.
they'd be willing to,
Well,
staff their booths or.
oh, hey, did you guys, while you guys are here, not to cross business, did you guys? Trying to think before I speak out of turn.
Too late.
I'll ask you about that later on, but do you know who, has all the normal people committed for their booths?
All the normal people committed for their booths.
Yeah, the
I
one
have
that,
a waiting list.
For the.
no.
You talking about Jubilee?
Yeah.
Always talking about.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Here's the deal on that. The only building park association owns is,
Bandstand.
So don't have to worry about that. The other buildings all belong to the church.
Yeah.
It's not talking about that either.
Oh, well.
I know what you're talking about, and we haven't got a
Commit.
Cause we talked about that last night at at the other meeting,
right.
and they were wondering the same thing.
If it's
Cause I just need to know who I need to contact about,
using it again or not.
well, not necessarily even during that time, but for this event.
Oh,
You get what I'm saying?
Let me make some phone calls, to my contact,
Mhm.
because that's how it all went down last year.
Hmm.
So I have to say,
Well, I know my guys are super excited if it goes through again, so I don't, like, again, I don't wanna step on any toes.
let's talk after the meeting when there's not a recording.
Yeah.
Sorry, you don't get to know.
Township business.
Yeah.
And that's why I had to think for a second, but I just need to know when we go to, cause at some point, and I hope that I really would like to see more than just one concert out there this summer. I'd like to see
Sure.
I
some
agree.
folks, I don't have the availability to make it a weekly thing or something like that, but if we did 2 or 3 over this course of the summer and somebody has an idea of a band and they wanna play out there, obviously,
I can get you I can get you at least an 8,000 person draw, but we don't have no parking.
Right.
well, we may have to explore those
I
options.
know of a guy that would get 8,000 people, but problem is we don't have the parking.
Well,
I can't get him for Jubilee. I can get him for Jubilee, but we don't have parking.
well, maybe we explore options with Kent or what do you think?
Shuttle bus.
Well, I mean,
You know,
We need a couple more acres.
Yeah. a couple more
What about
acres.
this thing right here?
well, that's what I'm
They'd
talking
have to
about,
walk
Mr.
across, yeah, they'd have to walk
Mr.
across the
Kent.
road.
Jerry's over here.
I mean, there's, if
Here at the
it's
church?
that big, yeah, I mean, there's always options to figure out how to get people
I
from
wonder if Rick's
up to
field,
Redwood out.
And Rick's Field last year was sort of wet. It a little wet, because I know for a fact because I drove in it.
Fields are tough.
yeah, but what if we did it in the summer when it's dry, July,
In July, that.
Yeah, July would be fine, but not September.
no. Well, that's what I'm saying, if we did one mid-July, if planned to have another deal mid-July.
Well, the thing about it is, you gotta remember Rooster Tail is the first weekend,
Hmm,
and Madison.
No, the down.
And then
the
they've got,
downtime things
then
kill
in
us up here.
September, they've got the, unbroken
blues,
They
circuit.
Oh.
get that during the Jubilee.
They're changing the date to September, the second weekend of
Oh,
September.
well, that's good.
And then Riverfest is the 15th of August.
yeah.
As much as I love all of those things, a lot of the people talk about it at work, they can't afford to get into those.
Oh, that's getting, and that's why this is gonna be at no cost. What I would like to see is we need to do this under the pretense that free will donation, because this is a park improvement deal,
Support your
right?
local
Well, you can print out some signs, just like
Yeah.
QR codes or
Yeah.
something, where folks can donate to a Venmo or something,
Yeah.
like,
Mhm.
whatever, something.
Mhm.
I can make QR codes on the flyers.
Can you?
Mhm.
So we need to, I think
I'm not
if
sure
you
about
guys, if you guys know of, like I said, we should probably create something that we need to. I guess maybe let's see what happens at the next meeting, but we probably, what might be a smart idea, and I'd have to check the law and see if committees can meet without. So one of the things, like one of the reasons why there's committees is committees don't necessarily always fall under the same pretense of notices and recordings and stuff like that, not always. But I'm intrigued to know with the new law, if the committees, not that I don't wanna have a recorded, or do something backdoor or anything like that, but if
Sometimes
we
it's
all
private.
agree that, hey, next week, bro, we can meet for 5 minutes or 10 minutes and we all get together, as the park,
Committee.
the summer, Friday night festival committee or something like that, band committee. Can we, I think there needs to be some of that explored, so. I'll check on some legality with
We'll
that.
have movie nights out there too.
Well, and, that's the other thing, is just doing a movie, because, so if you remember. And you kind of laughed at me when I told you I bought a cheap projector. I was really hoping that the projector would take this, cheaper projector would take place of this, so it could be larger, so like you guys can see it. But ultimately, I think an inexpensive projector. And you get one of them blow up, because you can buy a blow up, screen, a yard screen.
Just hanging on the band.
Well, something like that, but dude, I on TikTok, I've got it saved. I've had it saved forever. It's either TikTok or Amazon. I found a super cheap blow up yard size that would be, big enough that you could put it at one end of the basketball court and let everybody sit out on the court or in the grass or something like that. It's not no drive-in movie size, but if we had just a regular, costed projector.
Mhm.
That would work. Maybe it's not the greatest, maybe it's not ultra high D or high D, HD or whatever, high def.
Something
Quit
good
laughing.
enough.
Something good enough to get the people there
If
and
it's a hit, we can always upgrade.
Yeah. Have an idea.
Yeah.
Is it something maybe we put on the basketball court?
That's what he's saying.
That's what.
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You,
So,
as long as you're not charging, I don't think you have to worry about copyright or anything. So
no, it's not, no.
if it's, as long as it's free events, then you're not profiting from
And
it.
you know,
so.
we could always sell popcorn and drinks or something for a park fund.
I've got Disney. I mean, I'm sure everybody probably has a Disney Plus account
Yeah, 'cause
or,
if you don't charge admission and you're not making money off of the movie itself, I think you're still allowed to get money off concessions
Concessions, yeah.
without a license.
well,
I
I
think.
mean, they do it, I guess you figure out, they do it downtown all the time,
Yeah,
yeah.
Everywhere. I don't know how they do it,
probably the same thing.
But
As long as
as
it's free.
long as they're not paying for it, you're
Yeah.
fine.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And it'd surprise you how many people show up.
Mhm.
it definitely out
And
here.
you pick a certain day, it don't have to be a movie made yesterday.
Yeah,
They
No,
at least
right?
kids,
I don't-
they'll have 50 people there.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys have ever tried to go to that drive-in down there, but Tyler and I tried to go one night and it was a 2-hour line down the street. The one
Yeah.
down here in
We actually got
Greens.
turned away.
We did. We
Down
couldn't
there
even
by
get
the
in.
Albany.
We've
It's
been down
5
there.
acres.
Yeah.
Yes,
Busy.
Yeah.
you cannot even get into that
I think
place.
it's to be
One of the
figured out.
branches the same way.
Speaker hearing system of some kind.
Well, I just so happen to have two people right here that have a massive system still in their house.
There's-
We could
There's
shake
that.
the frickin' windows out of that house at
I've
one
got two
time.
big PA speakers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
yeah.
It is, I mean, with everybody being quiet, and
Oh,
a
yeah.
couple good speakers
That'd
out
be
there,
really
it carried it out.
Oh, let me tell you, their system, people could be screaming and it wouldn't matter. It's a miracle we never got arrested for.
Freaking.
that is true.
Yeah.
When we was younger, by God, that
Yeah.
We'll
there
be
was-
standing right in front of it.
there was some story, oh goodness. We better turn the recording off before we get into that.
That stuff would really help.
We had
with
to
the
anchor
park
something.
volume.
Mhm. Sure.
Yeah, I think that's a wonderful idea.
And really, you think about it, we might be able to park a whole lot of people there if we were judicious about
Yeah.
parking
If you
outside of the
had-
ring.
You get a few volunteers out there and get some flaggers and organize.
Oh, remember the Jubilee thing?
Oh, the hickory.
Yeah. I've been
That's the
down
thing,
there.
I mean, if
With
you
my
park people correctly, you can get a lot of people.
Yeah,
You
But
get,
just finding people to.
you have to have somebody to volunteer.
Yeah, you used to have Boy Scouts and
yeah,
it's just hard to get people to come do it. And over the years, we have a lot of people come through the park, but it's, in and out kind of thing. So you
Yeah.
gotta run out. But
yeah,
if you had somebody parking, you could shove a lot of cars in.
yeah. And if you think about it, like on a concert night or something like that, you're not really utilizing the grounds in the same way that you're utilizing the grounds during the
Right.
Jubilee.
You
know.
do something.
You know what I'm saying? You
Not
might,
just spread
you
out.
get what I'm saying? You don't have to have, you can shove extra cars
You
in and
can
around.
park in between the buildings if you
Yeah,
have to at
yeah.
certain spots.
Mhm,
As
yeah,
long as you mind the water and electric, everything will be fine.
yeah, yeah.
You know?
Well, that's all I got. So, I'd say when we get that when I can get my calendar, I guess after this gets over, I can walk out there and get my phone, because then we can stop the recording, but we'll set that date and that'll be about it. And, I can't think of anything else. It's just a shame we can't do the damn annual report, because all we gotta talk about in the annual report is
Gotta be a
presenting the
separate
annual
meeting.
report. It's gotta, and with everything going on, I was gonna do it tonight, but
Hey,
there's,
The law is the law, it's okay.
Give us a chance
Here's
to
your,
plan out for some
your
of these
Dale
summer
quote.
things.
oh,
too.
Dale, yeah, and I need to tell Dale that he's the mower. I think we're gonna meet again hey.
Oh, you.
There is, so one thing that Anna has been on us about for a while now, is a blessings box
I was gonna ask about that.
in the shelter house. The box is bought, it's at my house. I talked with Anna and we had decided, there's the box, we bought it from Sam's Club, yeah, I bought it from Sam's Club. It is a stand-up. It's not 100% stainless, but it's got a lot of stainless on it. I'm gonna buy some treated wood to put down underneath of the pegs. There were two options. One was on wheels. I didn't think having a box on wheels needed to stay there. So this one's got feet. Get some pieces of some thin like decking board, treated deck board, put underneath of it, but just inside the shelter area, we'll have this blessings box set up so that it's under the camera. She's got folks that have been donating to fill it. She's got a lot of items already ready to go in it. I have just, since I bought it, I've been busier, it's been cold or vice versa, and but hopefully in the next little bit, I'm gonna need to get it set up because I need to get it out of my way because I'm gonna start working in the shop. Get it set up, get it ready to go. We'll have a whatever you want, the blessings box. So
Be good for the community. If anybody has extra, they can put in it, non-perishable, we don't want a big mess in there of food that's gonna go bad, moldy. Especially in cold weather, make sure it's something that ain't gonna freeze and burst. But anything that you have extra, and if you need it, go to the park and take what you need, just be diligent and don't take all of it, somebody behind you might need it too.
Don't be greedy, yeah.
yeah. So I'm intrigued to see how that will go. I'm really excited for that. It's under the camera. We'll put a sign on it. You are on the camera. I mean, the cameras have been working really well.
Yes, they have.
I got one of them like that's driveway.
I know
It's like,
that
that's because
Every
Corey
goes
shared
down
it.
the-
Like, oh.
I'm like, Corey.
But I had to update I had to change there's you can create a detection zone, and every time a semi would go down the highway,
And see the little flash, the headlights going down.
Tyler called me one day, he goes,
Sorry.
"You gonna change that at some point or what?" I said, "Yeah, it's starting to get kind of annoying, isn't it?"
I bet you went off your Jubilee too, didn't it?
Oh, I shut it off on Jubilee, yeah. And during Jubilee week, I just turned all notifications off,
Yeah.
so if something, it was on recording, so I'm sure.
There was nothing happened because I was there 24/7 from Monday all the way through Sunday.
Yeah, but no, I'm glad, no, if we'd have had it on during the Jubilee, it would have went off
Crazy.
nonstop, so.
Those work really.
But it's worked out really well. I feel very there's not been anybody that pulled in out there that we didn't know about. And so I think it's gonna serve its purpose if something ever was to arise. So, so that's worked out well, but I'm good. I hope I'm done.
Good job.
Anybody got anything to ask of me?
Nope.
Yeah. Let me look at my email. I can't even get my email up, I think we already tried that. Yeah, I think that's it. If I didn't write it down and it didn't get talked about, we're all right.
We'll get it in the next one.
Yep. Somebody needs to move to close.
Don't look at me.
Move to close.
I'm not afraid.
Second.
Perfect.
There we go.
Let me stop that.